You see this old man here, 97 years. 97. Most folks, they look at me and they see, well, they see someone who's been lucky. Someone who just happened to dodge the bullet. But luck had nothing to do with it, not entirely. There was a time, not so long ago, when I was staring down a very different path. A path paved with pain, with stiffness, with the chilling fear of losing myself piece by piece. I was 68 then, just 68, and I felt like an old man already. My knees screamed with every step, my back a constant dull ache. Energy? It was a distant memory. I was slowly, silently, losing my independence. Can you imagine that? The thought of becoming a burden, of not being able to tie my own shoes, to walk to the mailbox without gasping for air. It haunted my dreams. But then, something shifted. A whisper in the wind, a realization that hit me like a cold splash of water. I started looking at my mornings, those routines I'd held on to for decades, thinking they were good for me, thinking they were harmless. They weren't. Not at all. In fact, they were slowly, insidiously, stealing my vitality. They were the silent assassins of my future, and I knew, deep in my bones, that if I didn't change, if I didn't break free from these 5 common morning habits, I wouldn't see 97. I might not even see 75 with any dignity left. So, I changed. And it saved my life. It truly did. Let me tell you about them. The 5 habits I quit at 68, the ones that were pushing me towards an early, dependent grave. The first one. Oh, this one's a real trickster. A wolf in sheep's clothing, as they say. Many of you, I bet. You wake up, and you reach for it. You think it's doing you good. You think it's a healthy start. I certainly did. For years, I believed it was the secret to gut health, to a clean system. I'd wake up, stumble into the kitchen, and without fail, I'd drink a big glass of fruit juice. Orange juice, apple juice, even those fancy green juices from the store. My wife, bless her heart, she'd squeeze fresh oranges for me every morning. I thought, how can something so natural, so full of vitamins be bad? But here's the truth, the one they don't tell you often enough. It's a sugar bomb, pure and simple. Even the no sugar added varieties. When you strip the fiber from fruit, what are you left with? Concentrated sugars. Your body, first thing in the morning, on an empty stomach, it processes that like rocket fuel. A massive spike. And what goes up must come down. That crash, that energy slump you feel mid-morning, that brain fog, that's not just you getting tired. That's your body struggling with the sugar overload. Over time, these spikes and crashes, they wear down your pancreas. They inflame your joints. You silently, slowly, increase your risk for all kinds of trouble. Diabetes, heart issues, persistent aches. I was practically bathing in it every day, thinking I was doing myself a favor. It was a lie. A delicious, destructive lie. I stopped. Cold turkey. And within weeks, that mid-morning fatigue, it started to lift. The joint pain, it didn't vanish overnight, but the intensity, the constant throb, it began to soften. What did I replace it with? Water. Just plain water. Sometimes with a squeeze of lemon. Simple.
Profound.
Now, for the second habit. This one, it's about movement, or rather, the lack of conscious movement. You know the feeling. You wake up, maybe you've been sleeping a bit awkwardly, or perhaps you're just stiff from a night's rest. Your back feels tight. Your neck, a little crick in it. What's the first thing most of us do? We spring out of bed, we twist, we reach, we yank ourselves into an upright position as quickly as possible. I did it every single day. A quick stretch, a groan, and then off to the coffee maker. But think about it. Your body. It's been still for hours. Your muscles are cool. Your joints, they've settled. Forcing them into sudden, jerky movements, especially a quick twist or a sudden bend. It's like trying to bend a cold piece of metal. It's asking for trouble. For years, I'd wake up, swing my legs over, and immediately reach for my slippers on the floor, twisting my spine. Or I'd sit up too fast, feeling that familiar jolt in my lower back. I thought it was just getting old. But it wasn't. It was me, actively contributing to my own morning pain. I was accelerating the wear and tear. One day, after a particularly bad spasm that left me barely able to move, I thought, there has to be a better way. So, I started slow. Instead of leaping out, I'd spend a minute, just a minute, while still in bed. A gentle knee-to-chest stretch. A slow, deliberate spinal twist, just rolling my knees from side to side. Reaching my arms overhead, slowly. Waking up my body, not shocking it. It felt strange at first, almost like I was wasting time. But the difference? Remarkable. That morning stiffness, it became less severe. The sharp pains, they started to fade. It's not about intense exercise the moment you wake up. It's about respect. Respecting your body's natural state and easing it into the day. It's a simple shift, but it's a powerful shield against the aches and pains that can steal your mornings. My third revelation, the silent enemy. This one, it's insidious because it feels so right, so necessary. It promises energy, focus, a jump start to your day. For a long time, it delivered. Or so I thought. I'm talking about caffeine, specifically that first massive cup of coffee, gulped down the moment my feet hit the floor. I'd practically race to the pot, needed that jolt, needed that warmth. But here's what I learned, the hard way. Chugging coffee on an empty stomach, before your body has even had a chance to properly wake up, it's like throwing gasoline on a fire. It spikes your cortisol levels, your stress hormone, which are already naturally higher in the morning. This isn't a gentle wake-up call. It's an alarm bell ringing repeatedly in your system. It puts your adrenals into overdrive. It disrupts your natural energy rhythms. For me, it led to a nervous, jittery energy, followed by an inevitable crash. A deeper fatigue later in the day. And over time, it gnawed at my heart. Not in a dramatic way, but subtly. I'd feel my heart race, especially when I was stressed. I'd have those moments of unexplained anxiety. I thought it was just old age catching up. It wasn't. It was my morning ritual, silently taxing my most vital organ. I didn't cut out coffee entirely. I love my coffee. But I changed when and how I drank it. First, I'd hydrate with water. Then I'd eat a small breakfast. And then I'd have my coffee. A smaller cup. Sometimes I'd even wait an hour or two after waking. The difference was profound. No more jitters. No more crashes. A more sustained, natural energy throughout the day. My heart felt calmer. My mind clearer. It's not about demonizing coffee. It's about understanding its power and using it wisely, not letting it use you. This isn't just about feeling better. It's about protecting your heart from unnecessary strain, day after day, year after year. Now, for the fourth habit. This one is almost invisible. It's something almost every older person I know does, without even realizing the long-term danger. It's about how we start our minds in the morning. You wake up. What's the first thing you do? For me, for decades, it was the newspaper. Then, later in life, it became the news on the television, the headlines, the doom and gloom, the endless cycle of problems, crises, and arguments. I thought I was being informed, staying current, being a responsible citizen. But what I was actually doing was flooding my brain with negativity the moment my eyes opened. Before I even had a chance to orient myself, my mind was already racing, processing fear, anger, anxiety. This isn't just about feeling bad for a few minutes. This primes your brain for stress. It sets the tone for your entire day. It elevates those stress hormones, not just physically, but mentally. It's a constant drip of worry. And chronic stress, that's a known killer. It affects everything. Your immune system, your sleep, your digestion, your heart. It accelerates aging. It muddies your thinking. I was literally inviting stress into my home, into my mind, every single morning, thinking it was harmless. I stopped. I replaced the morning news with quiet, with a few minutes of just being. Sometimes I'd sit by the window and watch the sunrise. Sometimes I'd just listen to the birds. Later, I started reading something uplifting, a good book, or even just looking at old photographs. Something that brought me joy or peace. It wasn't about burying my head in the sand. It was about choosing when and how I engaged with the world's problems, giving my mind a gentle, positive start. It allowed my brain to wake up naturally, calmly. And the impact on my overall mood, my resilience, my ability to handle the day's challenges, it was profound. Don't underestimate the power of your first thoughts. They lay the foundation for everything that follows. And finally, the fifth habit. This one might surprise you. It's the one that held me captive for the longest. The one I truly believed was a sign of my dedication, my productivity. It's the one that, when I finally let it go, felt like shedding a heavy cloak. And it was the most counterintuitive change I made. You ready for it? The habit I quit was rushing. Yes, rushing. From the moment my alarm clock screeched, I was in a race against the clock. Shower, dressed, breakfast, out the door. Every single morning, a frantic dash. I believed that being efficient, being quick, was the key to a successful day. That every second counted. That starting early, starting fast, meant I was ahead of the game. My heart would pound, not just from the coffee, but from the sheer urgency I imposed upon myself. My shoulders were constantly hunched, my jaw clenched. I was always thinking 3 steps ahead, never truly present. And what was the cost? Everything. The joy of a quiet morning, the opportunity to savor my breakfast, the chance to truly connect with my wife before the day began. But more than that, it was the constant low-grade stress, the feeling of being perpetually behind, even when I was on time. That chronic stress, it wasn't just mental. It manifested physically. Tense muscles, shallow breathing, poor digestion. It put my body into a constant state of fight or flight, day in and day out. It was exhausting. It was literally draining my life force, drop by agonizing drop. I was so afraid of losing time, I was actually losing years. When I turned 68 and felt that crushing weight of pain and fatigue, I realized, what was I rushing for? To get to the end faster? To burn out sooner? It made no sense. So I stopped. I started setting my alarm 15 minutes earlier, sometimes even 30. Not to do more, but to be more, to move slowly, to breathe deeply, to enjoy the simple act of making my tea, of looking out the window, of just being in the moment. I slowed down my eating. I walked rather than hurried. It felt like rebellion at first, like I was being lazy. But what I discovered was a profound sense of peace, a calm that permeated my entire day. My blood pressure, which had been creeping up, started to stabilize. My digestion improved. My mind felt clearer, less cluttered. And the aches? They lessened even further, because my body wasn't constantly bracing for the next frantic sprint. So, there you have it. 5 simple yet incredibly powerful shifts. Not some magic pill, not a costly surgery, just a change in perspective, a change in those seemingly innocent morning routines. I'm 97, and I'm still here, still walking, still laughing, still independent. And I truly believe it's because I had the courage to look at my own habits, to challenge what I thought was true, and to make those necessary changes. You might be 55, you might be 75, you might be 90. It doesn't matter. The time to reclaim your mornings, to protect your independence, to safeguard your vitality is right now. Don't wait until the pain becomes unbearable. Don't wait until the fear of losing yourself becomes a reality. Start today. Look at your own mornings. Are you drinking the sugar bomb? Are you shocking your joints?
Are you stressing your heart with caffeine or your mind with negativity? Are you rushing towards an earlier end? These aren't just habits, they're choices. And your choices today dictate your tomorrow. Make them count. Make them for a future where you are strong, vibrant, and free. If I can do it at 68, you can do it now. Your life depends on it. If you found wisdom in these words, if you felt that spark of recognition, then don't keep this secret to yourself. Share this video. And most importantly, subscribe to Limitless Aging and hit that notification bell. Because I have so much more to share with you, so many more lessons from a life lived long and full, lessons that can truly transform your journey. Don't miss out. Your future, your independence, is worth fighting for.